Hello, Blue Demons. Welcome to our Tuesday afternoon stream for Get to Know DePaul. Today I'm joined by our Vice President for Student Affairs, Zdziarski, to talk a little bit about the Division of Student Affairs and about his role at the university. Before we get started, though, just a reminder for folks, you have the opportunity to check into today's stream by scanning the QR code listed here. In a second, I'm also going to post the link that you can click from the stream as well, so that you could just click that, log in with your Campus Connect credentials for your chance to win one of our Lincoln Park stainless steel map water bottles. So feel free, go ahead, scan in there, check in throughout the stream. You also have the opportunity to check in anytime between now and September 11th. So if you're not watching this stream live, you can still check in for that opportunity. But we'll go ahead and get started. Gene, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Courtney. I'm excited to be here, and I want to say welcome to all our students. This is definitely my favorite time of the year as we get things rolling for the academic year.
Yeah. So for those of you who may be new to the stream, our Get to Know DePaul series is a deep dive to review different services, offices, and people around the university that you might interact with in your time at DePaul, or services that you can take advantage of. So this is, I think we're at, 10 or 11 at this point. But we've got a library of sessions that are available to you on the Den, and we've got some more upcoming. But to get us started here, Gene, how about you kick us off by telling us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been at DePaul, and why you decided to come to DePaul in the first place?
Sounds great. Well, first of all, I'll say my name is Zdziarski, and you can see how it's spelled on the bottom of the screen. It's a Polish name. I'm originally from Buffalo, New York. Grew up there, but went away to college in the South. Got my undergraduate degree at Oklahoma State University, and it was there that, through student involvement, really the office that Courtney runs, and my opportunities to get engaged in the campus community, that I discovered the field of student affairs and the opportunity to have a career in higher education. From there, I went on and got a master's degree and ultimately a doctorate. But I've worked at a lot of different institutions over the last 30 years. Had the opportunity to work at places like Texas A&M, University of Florida. But 6 years ago, I had the opportunity to come to DePaul University here in Chicago. And I have just truly loved my time here and really found my home. I think for a lot of people, when they come to DePaul and you learn a little bit about DePaul and its mission and our Catholic and Vincentian purpose and mission here, it really is something that gets to your heart, because the opportunity to help those that have been marginalized, really provide an education to such a diverse group of students is really a neat place to be. And you're in the heart of the city of Chicago, which is really a tremendous place to be. For me, it was not only the mission and the city, but I also had the opportunity to come home to family. Most of my immediate family is here in the Chicago area. And it's just been a great place for me to be. And I truly love DePaul and being a Blue Demon. It's been fun.
So out of all of those places, which ones have been your favorite weather climate?
All right, so I gotta admit, my one thing about Chicago, and part of the reason I left Buffalo, Buffalo gets more snowfall than Anchorage, Alaska, okay, in an annual year. But that's been the hard part, is the snow. Summer is a great time weather-wise in Chicago. I have to say that there are times of the year that Florida, particularly the November through March, Florida would be my favorite climate. But I certainly love summers in Chicago too.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I have the opportunity to go to Florida a couple times a year. It's miserable in the summer, but during their winter months, I'll take that over, negative 27 any day of the week.
Exactly. Especially, and again, Florida will get a little bit cold, but I don't know that I've ever seen it. I'd never had the experience of where it got anywhere below 20 degrees. So, it kept it bearable.
Yeah. So, a lot of our student viewers might be wondering what a vice president for student affairs does, because obviously our students interface a lot with, our entry-level coordinators, different people running programs. But Jean, would you mind taking a couple minutes and describing or explaining to our students what it is your role is and what your office does for the university?
So as a vice president for student affairs, we oversee all of what I would refer to as the student life components that are outside the classroom. The Division of Student Affairs consists of 10 different departments that it range from certainly some of our students, particularly our new students, had the opportunity to experience orientation, and that's through our staff in new student and family engagement. For those students that are in the residence halls, our staff in residence education are working with you on a daily basis. Courtney and her amazing staff in putting together all the different events and programs through student involvement, along with our Office of Multicultural Student Success, the Dean of Students Office, University Counseling Services, Center for Students with Disabilities, Health Promotion and Wellness, Adult, Veteran, and Commuter Student Affairs, as well as Athletic Academic Advising. All these departments make up different aspects of student life outside the classroom and provide a variety of different services to our students. As a vice president, I have the opportunity to serve on the university leadership team. In fact, I am one of the vice presidents that serves on the president's cabinet. And it's important, I think, to have somebody representing the student voice, somebody bringing that what they hear from students to that table as decisions are being made for the university, and President's Cabinet is making important decisions. In addition to President's Cabinet, there's what is referred to as Joint Council, which includes all of the vice presidents and deans in making decisions for the university, and the student body president, along with faculty council and staff council presidents, have a voice in those particular meetings. And that's kind of how the university is structured, with the university's cabinet and joint council providing some of the leadership. But to me, it's important to be that voice, be that resource for students, so that we make sure student issues are being addressed throughout the university.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think one thing that I've been able to tell, I've been at DePaul for about 5 years now, but some of the other places that I've worked have been very segmented, where student affairs is, in their own silo, if you will. Then you have, the facilities folks who are in another silo, and you'd have academics in a silo separate from that, athletics, all these different silos. I think one of the things that's really unique about DePaul is this model where we truly are working hand in hand together. And even student affairs, for those of you, if you're really curious and you want to see the organizational structure, you can look up the full tree of where everybody reports up through. Student affairs is part of academic. Yeah, it's part of academic affairs at the university, and I think that strategic placement lends itself to a really great partnership that gives people this opportunity to have a world-class education and a really spectacular co-curricular experience, all in the background of Chicago, which I think really makes for a special opportunity at DePaul.
It really is the perfect partnership, because we know that for students to be successful, it's not only about what goes on in the classroom, but it's what happens outside the classroom, and those two really make up the student experience at DePaul. And one of the things we talk about in student affairs is that our core functions are that about student academic success, student engagement, as well as student support. And all of the offices within the division work to address those three core functions, but also collaborate with all of our partners across the university, particularly in academic affairs, but throughout other units within the university, really to address student needs and help all students be successful.
Mm-hmm. Jean, one of the threads that I've heard a lot about through this series is the focus on creating or students finding their place and finding a space for that sense of community. Can you talk a little bit about how student affairs helps students to really, find that community, and where you see that as where does it fall in level of importance for a student's collegiate experience to be connected here at DePaul?
So I think it's really a key component to your success. I think sometimes students come to college, and I know particularly for a new student, you look at it and say, well, wow, I made it, I'm here, and now I really need to buckle down and focus on my academics, and that's really important. You want to put your all into it, and it's important to put put your all into it. But at the same time, don't do it at the exclusion of other engagement, because by getting involved, getting engaged, we know that students that move beyond just their classroom experiences, but take the opportunity to get involved in other things at the university, they tend to be more successful and are the students that have the better GPA, persist and progress, and are more likely to graduate than those students that just stay focused solely on classes alone. I think student affairs plays that key role in the sense that whether it's through your residence hall floor and people you get to meet in that environment, to different clubs and organizations that you can get involved in through student involvement, to various offices that address the needs of a lot of different groups. I would in particular identify our Office of Multicultural Student Success and our Identity and Resource Centers as places where students are able to develop connections with other people and build friendships that are going to be a support network for them throughout their academic career, and for many students, well beyond that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Gene, I'm curious if you might have any, you're talking a little bit about student engagement and student experiences. I'm curious if you might have any suggestions of, how should students go about finding those groups that they should be involved with? Are there any, guiding principles that you've used over the years to really, because obviously you've been in the field for a while, if there's any suggestions you might have for our students watching as they start to explore different opportunities for engagement?
I do. And as I mentioned, again, staying focused with your academics is important, but outside of your classes and setting aside time to study and be prepared for your coursework, I encourage students to do three things. Number one, I would encourage you to identify a club or organization that you can get involved in that is associated or connected to your academic interests. Through a club like that or an organization like that, you can identify other classes that you might be interested in. You're going to be able to identify folks that can be part of a peer group that helps you with your studies, as well as then may lead to identifying different internships and perhaps even jobs later by being involved in that kind of organization or club. And so the first thing is something that has to do with your academics. The second thing that I would recommend is that you do something related to giving back to others, something related to service. As a college student, we have the opportunity that so many other people don't, and we're fortunate and lucky to be involved and engaged in a college education. But the opportunity to give back really can make a difference, not only for the community, for you. Certainly it fulfills part of our Vincentian mission to provide service to others. And so that service can be within the campus community through a club or organization, or perhaps some service opportunity that provides to folks in the local community, or there are opportunities to get involved in service that is throughout the country or throughout the world in some of our service learning or service immersion trips. So I would really encourage you to also look at some way to give back to others through service. The third one is, in college, we've got over 300 different organizations and clubs and sports and opportunities for you to participate in things. This is an opportunity to experiment a little bit. Try something you've always been interested in, but never really had the opportunity to do so. This is a great opportunity for that. So really three things: get involved in something that has to do with your academics, get involved in something that has to do with giving back to others through service, and third, identify something fun or something to just explore and try something new.
Yeah. What organizations were you involved in back in the day?
Well, back in the day, I started out with Residence Hall Association. That was a big organization for me. I had the opportunity to participate not only on campus, but regionally and nationally, and that really kind of spurred my way into student affairs. I also was a big sports person, and so intramural sports was something that I was heavily involved in. And I also played club lacrosse while I was in college. So,
oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm not, I don't remember. I know we've had a lacrosse team. I don't know if they're active right now, but I'm sure, if they are, they can connect. Yeah. Well, great. So I know, Gene, one of the other things when we are in a more robust on-campus experience, one of the favorite things that I've always seen you come to are a lot of our different traditional events, midnight breakfast, ugly sweater party, all those different ones. I'm curious just to hear out of pure curiosity here, what's your favorite event to attend?
So one of my favorites truly is the midnight breakfast in the fall. It was one of those events that when I first got here, everybody said, "Oh, no, it can't be done, can't be done." Things came to be, and a lot of different people have made it happen. You in particular, Courtney, and some others, and certainly the way that the university administration has embraced that particular event. We will have the president, the provost, many other university leaders out there serving breakfast to over 2,000 students, or almost. I don't know. I guess I can't say 2,000. It was a large number of students though that comes out to the student center to participate. It's just a fun event to see everybody, and it's just a way to say, hey, good luck with finals. We know you've been working hard, and good. We want to wish you the very best. I think that was probably my favorite. Certainly, I think one of the ones that is always a big fun is Fest at the end of the academic year. Now, I have to say that, honestly, I'm a little older, and as far as some of the groups that come and play, I may not have ever heard of them before, but I enjoy my time when I go there, and I enjoy seeing our students have such great fun at Fest.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I've officially reached the age that I no longer really know the artists. That was a hard milestone to reach.
Well, unfortunately, I think I've been there for a while, but
yeah.
It is a lot of fun to watch, folks.
Yeah, my mom lives in the suburbs, and every time I talk about Fest, she's like, "When are you going to bring Chicago?" Because Chicago's her favorite band, and some of the performers or some of the band members in Chicago are DePaul alum. She's like, "Courtney, this is the one that makes the most sense to you." And I'm like, "Oh, Mom, our students aren't really jamming out to 25 or 624 anymore in the same way that they did when she was a kid."
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Again, my parents, some of their favorite albums were Chicago albums.
Yeah.
So even puts it into that kind of context.
Yeah. Well, and great connection to Chicago in particular.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
when you talk about other traditions, one of the things I do want to take a moment to touch on here, and it's part of the reason I have this book over here, the screen is, I truly am a Blue Demon through and through, and I want each and every one of our students to be a Blue Demon, and it all starts here. We can't expect everybody else to show that school spirit. So one of my favorite traditions that we have is on Thursdays we wear blue, and I encourage, and really every one of you have got a t-shirt now. I want to see you out there wearing that t-shirt when you are on campus, and even in this virtual environment, take the opportunity to wear blue. It's a way to show your pride and a way to show our school spirit and a way to bring us together. I have a habit when I walk around campus and I see somebody not wearing blue on Thursday, or perhaps wearing something from one of those other schools in the state or in the area. I poke a little fun at them, and then I'll give them one of these pins as kind of a way to say kind of their get out of jail free card for that Thursday. But I encourage you to take advantage, to participate in showing your school pride and spirit. Being a Blue Demon is a great thing, and it's certainly something that's recognized here in the city of Chicago. I put out the challenge to students: if you ever catch me not wearing blue on a Thursday, I'll buy you lunch. In 6 years, I've only bought 2 lunches in that time period, and that was very early in my career when I made that challenge. I've literally gotten to work, realized I wasn't wearing blue, and turned around and went right back home to change clothes.
That's great. So, Gene, you're talking a little bit about obviously the shift to our virtual environment right now. I'm curious if you have any, things that you've seen as the person who oversees the whole division. If there's any programs or initiatives that you think our viewers should be sure to check out, or you think are unique that they could experience.
Well, obviously, and I'm sure you've probably mentioned it, but making sure you check DEN or our digital engagement network on a regular basis. It's amazing the number of programs that are out there for you to get involved in. There's literally dozens of programs a day almost for you to participate in. One of the ones that I had a lot of fun with was our paint palette, where students can either come by and pick up the paint supplies, or we send them to folks. I know there'll be an opportunity next week for folks to participate in it, but it kind of reminds me of the days when you watch TV and you could participate in, and I can't even think of his name now.
Bob Ross.
Yeah, Bob Ross. Thank you.
Yep.
The Bob Ross TV show where people would paint. It's a lot of fun. I know my wife and I have done the paint and sip at different places locally, but for me, this was a lot of fun and something that I enjoy doing, and I think is a great way for students to get involved in our virtual environment. For me, I thought it was one of the more creative things that we've done. I certainly know our trivia nights have been super popular with the students, and would encourage you to check that out. Again, a lot of great prizes for our students to participate in that, but DEN is definitely something you're going to want to check out.
Yeah, I'm really excited for next week's paint and palette, because we've actually found a local vendor here from Pino's Palette who's going to be doing a instruction for a DePaul skyline, or a Chicago skyline. So it's really, I would love to do it if I were a student, but it's a really beautiful skyline. And then you can either put Chicago or DePaul underneath it. So it's going to be, I think, really great, unique Chicago artwork. And that's taking place, for those of you that might be curious, it's going to be taking place on Tuesday, September 8th. For our students who are in quarantine, we're going to have a form where you can request to have the supplies delivered to your door, so you don't have to worry about leaving or anything. Then for our students who are in the Lincoln Park area, we're going to have a pickup next Tuesday from 1 to 5 p.m. in the Office of Student Involvement, which is on the second floor of the Lincoln Park Student Center. And then for those of our students who are studying remotely this quarter, we're going to have another offering later on in the quarter where we're going to do everything shipped to you. So lots of different ways that students can experience that event as we head into this fall quarter. So, Gene, as we wrap up here,
you may send me a list of supplies for that, and I'll buy my own, and I may participate next Tuesday with folks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I could for sure do that. So for our viewers who may be watching, don't forget, you can enter your questions that you might have for Gene in the comment section. They'll appear on screen if there's anything you're curious about or you want to hear directly from Gene on. But as we start to head towards the tail end of this interview, Gene, I'm curious if you have any additional advice for students as they head into this fall quarter, either as a new student, new first-year student, or a new to DePaul student.
Well, again, one of the big things is you need to know that people are here for you. If you've got a problem, if you've got a question, all you have to do is ask. And I know sometimes just getting up the courage and the nerve to reach out and ask for help can be difficult. But please know there are literally hundreds of professionals here at DePaul that are very interested in helping you and being there to reach out to you. So whether all of our different offices and services are available virtually, again, I encourage you to reach out and connect to them. I would ask that if I can be of assistance, by all means, reach out to me. Again, I kind of joked about my name, so rather than trying to figure out a email address that's a bit of a challenge, my email is simply deepgene@depaul.edu. I'd be happy for you to email me, and if I can't answer your question, I'll get you connected with the people that can. I would also encourage you to follow me via social media. I have an Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter account, and through that share a lot of different opportunities for students to engage in different student events and activities, as well as other information about things that are going on at the university that are relevant and important to students. So again, reach out to me, reach out to others within the campus community. There really are so many people here that are waiting to help.
Yeah. Well, great. Well, thanks so much for your time today, Jean. We really, really appreciate it. So students, if you didn't have a chance at the beginning of this stream to check in, be sure to scan the QR code here for your opportunity to check in for your chance to win a stainless steel Lincoln Park map water bottle. You can also check in by clicking in the DHub link in the comment section of this stream as well. You can do it anytime between now and September 11th. That's when we'll be picking our winners from each of our streams. So you also can check in for every single one, so you can watch this. You can watch the one from earlier today with Dean of Students. You can watch tomorrow's with Mission and Ministry. We'll be speaking with Mission and Ministry tomorrow at 11 a.m. But you have that opportunity to win a bottle by checking into any of those streams. So Jean, again, thanks so much for taking the time to join us today. We really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, for all of our students, obviously our Get to Know DePaul series is part of Welcome Week, if you haven't heard that before, but it's part of Welcome Week 2020. So this is one of our 165 offerings that are taking place between August 26th and September 11th. So you can see the full schedule of events at welcomeweek.depaul.edu. We've got some fun and exciting things coming up this weekend. Thursday night, we're doing a juggling workshop. Saturday night, we've got an event called Big Heads and Beats, where we're going to have a caricature artist with a drummer. Saturday night, we're doing Lincoln Park ghost tours in a virtual environment. So lots of things and lots of exciting opportunities going on as we welcome you back for fall quarter, even in this virtual environment. But until tomorrow morning, we'll see you all tomorrow morning for our next session. And until then, take care, DePaul. Bye, everybody.